Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, 4 adults accused of shocking child abuse are heading to circuit court next month. The allegations include locking a 10-year-old with special needs in a closet. We'll have the latest. Plus, we have the details on the newest candidate to enter the race for judge in the 96th District Court and a state budget showdown in Lansing. Lawmakers are racing against the clock to avoid a government shutdown, and schools are caught in the crossfire. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Kelly, good evening. Another day with not a lot of sun. When's it coming back?
Yeah, Kevin, good evening. We're slowly but surely starting to get that sunshine back out. We still do have the cloud cover, but you can even see right here on our 19 News sky cam, there is some clearing on the way, still some showers hanging around to the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula, but things are looking on the up and up for the rain clearing out. Temperatures are into the upper 50s. For us in Marquette, mid 60s down towards the southern portions here. Temperatures tonight will dip into the lower 50s. We'll start out tomorrow with sunshine. It is going to stay that way for the rest of the week, and we're in for a really good weekend ahead too. I'll break it all down for you in just a few minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. The 4 adults in Marquette Township arrested on child abuse charges this past spring are headed to circuit court next month. Dr. Colin Irish, Carrie Irish, Michelle Maxon, and Linda Maxon first went to trial in February and March of this year. Both Irishes were accused of locking their 10-year-old son with special needs in a closet, along with the neglect of another 8-year-old in the household, ultimately charging the two with first-degree child abuse. Both Maxons have been charged with second-degree child abuse as they were living in the same household at the time and failed to report the ongoing situation for several months. All 4 had been scheduled for a preliminary hearing in Marquette County's District Court this morning, but will now be seen in circuit court on October 10th after waiving that hearing this week. 19 News will keep you updated as this case continues. Marquette County Circuit Chief Public Defender Patrick Crowley is officially running for the 96th District Court seat. He enters the race with 25 years as an attorney. Crowley says as judge, he will work to run the court more efficiently, taking into consideration how valuable time is for both the defense and the prosecution. Crowley says his courtroom would be run in a fair and equitable manner and that serving justice will be his main priority.
I think that it's important to treat everyone appropriately and with judicially, and not necessarily look down upon people, things along those lines. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't need to hold people accountable for the things that they've done, because that is absolutely something that I will do.
During his career, Crowley has served as both a defense attorney as well as a prosecutor. Lawmakers in Lansing now have less than a week to pass a state budget before the state government shuts down. Legislators blew through the statutory deadline back in July, causing uncertainty for schools as they built their budgets without official numbers. The Speaker of the House says he believes they can reach an agreement before October 1st, and that is looking more likely. The House and the Senate have begun holding joint appropriations meetings behind closed doors. The House has added additional session days moving forward on Mondays and Fridays, giving them 5 days to pass the 2026 fiscal plan.
And it's going to be done by 11:59 on September 30th. That's my expectation. That's what our voters sent us here to do. We're going to do everything that we can in order to get there.
Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy will have more from lawmakers tonight at 11:10 Central. Today at the United Nations General Assembly, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky took the world stage just one day after a high-profile meeting with President Donald Trump that resulted in a big change in Trump's view on the war with Russia. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon reports on what many are calling a complete 180 in President Trump's position on Ukraine.
If a nation wants peace, it still has to work on weapons. It's sick. But That's the reality.
On Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the UN for more battlefield support and tougher sanctions on Russia. His appeal came a day after new momentum from President Trump, who said he believes Ukraine could regain all its territory with European and NATO help, adding Moscow's economy is faltering. The stance marks a sharp shift from Trump's earlier calls for Ukraine to compromise on land and signals a change in his relationship with Zelensky, which seemed fractured just months ago.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
And I think it's fair to say that at this point, Trump sees Putin as more of the troublemaker, more of the one who's not coming to the table.
Former Marine and federal prosecutor John Deaton says the shift could signal a change in U.S. and NATO support from a defensive posture to an offensive posture.
But supplying weapons of an offensive nature, is very different. The real issue to me is that President Trump signaling that he is okay with long-range missiles striking the interior of Russia by Ukraine.
The stronger stance comes as Russian aggression spikes, including incursions into NATO airspace. Deaton says Trump's firmer tone may be strategic, aimed at pushing Putin to the table after last month's summit in Alaska fell short of expectations.
It's the art of the deal 101. That's him negotiating, letting Putin know that, this is what I'm capable of doing. You can't pin me down, to get him to the table.
Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
Your first warning weather forecast with Kelly Rowland is after the break. She'll let us know how our temperatures are shaping up for the rest of the week. And Gladstone's Downtown Day is back, and it's bigger than ever. From live music to kids' activities and over 60 vendors, we'll tell you what to expect. We'll be right back.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. Thanks for being here. We're a bit chilled right now into Marquette, 57 degrees. Otherwise, we're still hanging on to close to 70 degrees out to Ironwood and down to Iron Mountain. The winds are from the north for the most part, about 10 miles per hour for us into Marquette. We'll continue to see that northern flow, maybe cooling us down some more for the evening, but we should see a bit of a warm up for tomorrow. So for today, we did hit 64 degrees and that average is 63, record of 88 back in 2017. Very isolated showers showers still hanging on to the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula here. Really shouldn't see much more than that for this evening. We'll see them start to fizzle out as the sun starts to set for us, and then we really should be good. We're going to get into a nice dry stretch here, not really tracking any rain for the rest of this week. Weekend still looking great, and really even to next week too. There really is no sign of a major rain system. Now you'll see some green dots, some light raindrops wanting to fire up for Thursday morning in other areas here, but it's very minimal possibility, minimal accumulation at that too. This is now from now until Thursday morning, not seeing much at all, and we'll tack on Friday and really not seeing any changes in the rain accumulation either. So we're in for a nice stretch here just ahead of the weekend. It'll make for some great conditions for the Friday night lights, high school football, of course, Iron Mountain at Lawrence, Calumet at Kingsford, Norway at Pickford. All of these games looking to stay dry, looking to still have lots of sunshine at the start time of the games, and the temperatures wavering into the mid 60s. Overall, should be a really nice Friday night, even if your plans aren't headed out to the high school football games. Any plans that you have should be looking good. There are some changes and new developments now down to the tropics. I want to take you down here for just a moment. We do have still Hurricane Gabrielle here, went from a category 4 down to a category 2 as it starts to take on some colder water, the fuel essentially cutting off from that. But now we do have Tropical Storm Umberto that just joined the party for today. This is something that we're going to keep a little bit of a closer eye on because it does have a closer proximity to the Greater Lesser Antilles and other areas of the Caribbean. We could start to see some hurricane watches, hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, tropical storm watches as this development likely to forecast right now by Friday afternoon into a category 1 hurricane, but at that it looks to still stay into the open waters. We'll keep an eye on it too, but that's the newest developments for today. Tropical Storm Umberto joining us. And for tonight, we might have some patchy fog and those temperatures into the upper 40s, and we will still see some lower 50s for us into Marquette. So things should really start to quiet out. Rain's going to fizzle out if there still is any to the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula. Things should be a bit cooler for Friday, but we'll start to see those temperatures go back up to those summer-like conditions for the first weekend of fall, and keeping much of the same into next week.
Kelly, thanks again. This Saturday is Michigan's annual Downtown Day, and the city of Gladstone is hosting a community-wide celebration. Local businesses will line the downtown for a street fair from noon to 4, with many running special sales. There will also be children's activities, including face painting, D&R workshops, crafts, and live music. The event is set to be bigger and better than last year's, with the number of vendors jumping from 19 to 61.
Our downtown is the heart of our community, and without downtown, we don't have that sense of community. Not only are we supporting local businesses, we're offering that opportunity to other vendors that maybe wouldn't have a storefront and really get their information out. It's just all around beneficial for all of the vendors and the community.
Downtown Day also coincides with a special Saturday Farmers Market, where attendees can pick up a free 2025 Gladstone Farmers Market tote bag. Coming up next on Insights, the search continues for the next president of Northern Michigan University. We're talking with one of their representatives about how it's going and what attributes they're looking for in their next leader. That conversation's in 2 minutes. You're coming back for this Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah, heck yeah. I think I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, it was funny because I did Christmas Eve here and I did New Year's Eve TV6.
Oh, did you?
The early show. And Andy's like, I need somebody. Come on. I'm like, hey, I'm here for the holidays.
I think I'm going to need you a little more of this one. What do you say, John? Yeah.
I think I'm good.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Following the departure of Brock Tessman, Northern Michigan University is getting closer to selecting its next president. Joining us with the latest details is NMU Chief Marketing Officer Derek Hall. And Derek, thank you so much for being here. Good to see you again. How have you been?
It's great to be back. I think Christmas Eve was my last visit, so glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. So, just tell us how things have been at the university since Brock was.
We've been well. The fall semester started a month ago, and we're in the throes of it all. And the students are there. They're excited. You know, fall time is always just a perfect time on campus. A lot of things happening. We just survived homecoming, so things are going well.
Excellent, excellent. And as we mentioned, the search for a new president continues. What can you tell us about where we are right now?
Well, we're finally at the public stage. The search started back in April, but it was a real silent phase. You know, building a pool. We have a committee that's done a lot of work. They had 84 applicants for this job. They narrowed it down to 11. They did Zoom interviews with those 11, and they've selected 4 to bring to campus, and they're coming next week.
All right, excellent. I know you want the public involved in this decision as well. I understand there's some forums coming up. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so we have 2 candidates next week and then 2 candidates the following week. And they're here for 2 days, so a Monday, Tuesday, and then a Thursday, Friday. And part of that schedule for each candidate is a community forum, a reception, come, informal, talk, meet, you know, chat, those types of things. And those are going to be at the Northern Center Ballroom at 5:30 to 7 on Monday and Thursday next week, and Monday and Thursday the following week.
All right, good deal. What can people expect when they show up?
Hopefully a big crowd.
Sure.
One thing, we don't announce the names and share their resumes until about 24 hours before their visit. So candidate number 1 will be on campus Monday morning. Sunday morning, we will share their information on our website. Go to NMU, search presidential search, and you'll find all the details there. And then on Wednesday morning, we'll reveal candidate number 2 and then do the same thing the following week. And they will be meeting with faculty, staff, students, leaders, community members. They have a lot of sessions to do in those 2 days.
All right, and as far as what the university is looking for in a new president, what can you tell us?
Well, you know, a leader to take us into the future. You know, we had Brock Tessman for 2.5 years, and he did some amazing things on campus, and we want to continue that.
Any particular attributes you're looking for as far as any important projects he would be heading up, or?
Well, I think Brock's connection with students was so powerful. I think a lot of people are going to be looking for that in our next president.
And what does that mean for a university to have a president who's so involved with the students and just the community at the university as a whole?
We're there for the students. That's the purpose of everything that we do. That student focus is so critical, and to have a president that really charges in that direction is a big thing.
All right, excellent. You just laid out what the kind of process is right now. So how long do you expect to take?
So we have candidates through the 9th of October. After that, the Board of Trustees will interview each candidate in person, and then they'll make a selection. And so we're looking towards the latter part of October to announce a new president.
All right, excellent. As long as I got you here, Derek, anything you wanted to talk about as far as the rest of the school year at all? Any important announcements?
Well, next week we are also celebrating the 50th reunion of our football championship. Not next week, but the following week. And so we're going to have a lot of people in town celebrating that. You know, we're retiring a jersey for a certain quarterback, Mariucci, so that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be talking a lot about a upcoming film that's going to be made about that team. A drama film that's been picked up by a major distributor, so that's pretty cool.
Wow, exciting stuff. Derek, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Good to see you again. I want to get you in here more often.
Absolutely, good place to be.
All right, thanks so much, Derek. And tomorrow we're talking to the organizers of the UP 200 about the Dryland Dash happening next month. That conversation's only on 19 News Insights. And up next on your 19 News, we see what animal Northern Scales Reptiles brings on for us today. But first, here's your Upers United volunteer volunteer opportunity of the day. Help is needed at this Friday's Walk to End Alzheimer's in Ishpeming. Starting at the Senior Center, you can assist with registration, flower handouts, and banner setup. To sign up to be a volunteer or check out other opportunities, just head to UpersUnited.com.
Fat Bear Week is underway in Alaska, and there's some heavy competition. We will introduce you to some of the contenders.
And the Trump administration is touting a chemotherapy drug as a treatment for autism. A doctor on the forefront is the subject of tonight's Eye on America. That's ahead on the CBS Evening News.
Welcome back, everyone. Joining us now from Northern Scales Reptiles is, of course, Easton Zibnaska. Easton, thank you so much for coming in today. We have another amphibian, and you got the gloves on again today, sir.
I do have the gloves on for two reasons. So this is a species of dart frog called the cobalt blue tincturus, I believe. I might have got the name wrong. They're one of the larger species of dart frog out there in the world. They're native to the northeast part of South America and a little bit on the southeast part of Costa Rica or Central America area too.
And as always, before we start these segments, you give me some facts about what we might be talking about. And I wanted to start with, these are poison dart frogs, but this one in particular is not so dangerous.
Not poisonous.
Tell us why.
Yeah, so basically with their poison, it comes from a species of ant that's in the wild. And that ant is poisonous itself. Oh, there we go. Decided to be Spider-Man today. That species of ant is poisonous in the wild, but these guys eat that ant and they repurpose that poison to use for themselves, and they secrete it kind of like sweat. And when they secrete that poison, basically anything that comes in contact with it can be afflicted by it. The native people in the area would use it on darts, and they would blow them at people, and as soon as the dart went into you, you'd just be over with. One drop can take out 10 grown men. I don't want to say too brutal, but yeah, that's always a fact about these guys. But these guys, he was just all over my hand. Here, I'll see if I can get him in the cup. Thank you, buddy. So he was all over my hand just now. He didn't do that to my glove, by the way. That was a different guy. So all that is out from him. That's all the sweat. I can wipe that all over my arm. There's no effect at all because we've been feeding them fruit flies for generation to generation since they've gotten into captivity. And this is around the 4th or 5th generation, so there's no more poison in them at all.
All right, got you. I think we could turn it just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Easton. When it comes, we've talked about this kind of thing before, colorful animals. This guy has to be the poster child of, hey, stay away from me.
Yeah, so it's called aposematic coloration. Basically, their bright colors tell you, hey, I'm poisonous, don't come near me. Some animals can use it for as venomous as well, but dart frogs are usually what you think of when you hear about aposematic coloration, or just any kind of like poisonous coloration in general. It goes straight to here because they come in a variety of colors and different species. There's strawberry dart frogs, there's just the cobalt blue ones, which are pure blue with black. There are mint green ones that are the most poisonous out of the dart frogs at the moment. Their poison is the fastest reacting in your system, so it just dips in, and I think it takes about like 5 seconds to fully take effect, which is pretty brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned rubbing it on your skin and all that. Is it able to poison you like that, or does it have to get in your eyes or your mouth or anything like that?
So if he was poisonous just by contact, he could just touch me with a toe and it would be game over for me. But because he's not poisonous and like I'm just touching the gloves right now that he was in, there's no effect at all because we've been feeding him fruit flies in captivity for as long as his great-great-grandfather has been around. So at one point they were poisonous, but since the babies were born without those ants, they just ate fruit flies and crickets, and now they're not poisonous anymore.
Excellent. Thank you for explaining that again, Easton, because I want to make sure the people
no, I'm not in any danger. I'm not, no effect at all.
All right. And awesome, Easton. Another great amphibian today.
Yep.
Another, just a long string of great amphibians you've had for
this
us.
is wrapping it up for a bit for the amphibians. We're back to reptiles for a little bit.
We're going to go back to reptiles
Back
next?
to reptiles.
All right, sounds good. Easton, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks
Always
for having
appreciate
me.
you. And when we come back, Kelly Rowland's going to have our final look at weather. Stay tuned.
And a final look at these weather cameras as we're getting some more sunshine back out this evening. We are seeing clearing skies on our radar. Just some stubborn showers to the eastern half should clear that out in the next few hours. Low temperatures for tonight into the lower 50s. Might have some patchy fog. Just keep that in mind if you're headed out early tomorrow morning. Low speeds, low beams, but things are really going to clear out for the rest of the week. Weekend looking beautiful. Come right back here later tonight for an update on your forecast.
Kelly, thanks again. And finally tonight, this week, Escanaba's Players de Knock debuts their first show since the fire at the Boniface Theater back in May. The group's production of Don't Mention My Name opens at Bay College's Bessie Theater on Friday. It's the story of a man who can't remember who he is, but everyone he meets knows him and calls him by a different name. The players say it's a hilarious family-friendly adventure with twists and turns that will keep audiences entertained.
I've seen this show probably dozens of times at this point. I still giggle, especially during certain parts. Everyone is so excited to just be back in action again. It's a good reason to go out and have fun for a night and just forget your troubles.
Don't Mention My Name runs September 26th through the 28th and October 2nd through the 4th. Tickets are available online at the Boniface Arts Center and at the door. That's all the time we have for right now, everyone. Be sure to catch us back here tonight at 11:10 Central. We'll see you then.